Welcome to Progressive Mindset. We are the podcast for entrepreneurs and professionals looking to progress their mind and their business. I am Jason Kemsley.
And I'm Bradley Monday. And this episode is going to be a super quick 10-minute episode where we focus in on our top 7 productivity hacks.
And this is where I envisage the big number one. And I think number one should resonate with everyone out the gate. Stop looking for these productivity hacks. Seems a bit ironic given necessarily what the content is we're making, but there is definitely a huge increase in people looking for a magic trick, a magic tool, a magic platform.
Agree.
That will fix laziness, lack of discipline, lack of awareness, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. The amount of time that's being spent looking for them. It's just a time sap. And you've obviously found this one. This episode looking for productivity hacks. So we'll grant you the next 10 minutes and then put that to bed.
Absolutely.
So number 2 is don't use your inbox as a to-do list. Big fan of a zero inbox. Hit your mailbox and make sure that there's either something that goes on your calendar. Maybe you do maintain a to-do list where you pop on things in there. And if it takes less than 2 minutes to do, then just do it. Just get it done. Get it out there.
I have to say, I've tried to do that. I need a bit more discipline to do it, but I can see how it's super effective, and also creates very good time management and organisation off the back of it.
For sure.
Number 3, mine is along the lines of email. The first thing I see everyone do when they come in is open up their emails and start working on the things that other people want you to do. Mm-hmm. Someone once said to me, your emails are just someone else's or other people's to-do list for you. And I completely agree. You open up your emails, you are not working on the most important thing to you, to your business, to your goals, to your progression. And so spend the first part of the day not in your emails. Don't open your inbox.
Yeah, it doesn't mean ignore your emails forevermore, right? It's just finding the right place in your calendar, probably in a time when you don't feel particularly productive, is a great time to be clearing down your inbox. Number 4 then is, for me, I love a bit of Grayscale on the mobile phone. I've found this to be a really, really useful tool to stop mobile phone addiction. And I think a lot of us suffer with it in some way, shape or form. Stick your phone in Grayscale and it's amazing how without all those vivid colours going on, your phone becomes much, much less attractive. And actually you only use it when you really need to. And the rest of the time you can be off doing something productive or enjoying time with your family.
And I not many people are shocked when, I don't know how I know this or why I know this, but when you look back at the invention of screens and what the patent was for, what the technology was used for, it was used for mind manipulation. Mm-hmm. And so trying to remove that as much as possible from your screens, even your TV, if you can, put it in black and white, it will suddenly become less appealing every night to watch telly.
I've not tried it, but I imagine the same logic applies there as well.
Well, hopefully I've just shared one. Number 5 is quite simple. I am an Apple Mac user, an iPhone user. I have an Apple Watch, although don't use it possibly as well as I should. Do not disturb. Every device has a do not disturb mode. Mm-hmm. And we suffer from attention deficit. We suffer, everyone does, from being pulled off a task you're engrossed in for a question, for the next task, for an email that pops up in the bottom of your notifications. Use the do not disturb mode. Use it to tell you that this device is out of action for a period of time while I'm focusing on this. Then I'll put this in do not disturb while I focus on this. Because those do not disturbs are not there to make that device useless or to make your time not productive or make you not contactable. They're to make you focus, which is what a lot of productivity comes back to. It comes back to, if you're in a task, if you're in a process, or if you're in a zone, you need to maximize your time in that zone, because you do have peaks and troughs of super highly effective working.
No, agreed. And if you're still in the office and stuff like that, I've seen some of our teams wear silly antlers or some sort of antenna on their head when they're in do not disturb mode, so that you can tell your colleagues and your peers. Yeah, it might be flags that you put up. You can find silly ways to tell your colleagues, hey, I'm dialed in right now. Come back later.
Absolutely. Which brings me straight on to number 6. I'm quite enjoying this voice. We might have to take it into future episodes. Learn when you are most productive. What I mean by this is you can go and find any tool, you can go and find any platform, but they're all useless unless you know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I know recently I am most productive between 9 and 11 and 3 and 5.
Okay.
Roughly. Changes when I feel most productive. So I now will do the really important tasks, the tasks that really need my utmost care and focus and attention during those times. And I don't even try to do stuff that I'm going to elongate. You know, we look at Parkinson's time or Parkinson's law. You can make a task take as long as it needs to take, or you can make it take as short as it needs to take. I try and learn what my most productive times are, and then use those for the tasks I need to be most productive for.
No, that's
Same
really
happens
useful.
with creativity. I know I'm creative during the latter part of the day. That's when my brain's super free. So if I'm doing a marketing piece, or if I'm working on something that needs to be a bit creative, I won't do it early in the morning.
Okay. I do a very similar thing. I've got my calendar where I've got times that absolutely can't move. They're the fixed tasks, which are in those periods where I've identified I'm productive. Then I've got other things blocked in that are a bit more flexy, so I can move them around if I'm having an extended period of feeling productive, or a lull. I can move tasks around so that they're all color coded appropriately. I use categories within Outlook so that I can see what task fits a particular type of me, as it were.
Absolutely.
So then we move on to number 7, and it's knowing what your day looks like before your day starts. Planning the night before, right? You're a big advocate of this as well.
Yep. I know what I'm wearing the next day before I go to sleep. And it's about, you read all these books about wake up at 5 a.m, have a glass of water. It's just about having a routine and a process, right? I know when I wake up, right, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to wear this, and I'm removing as much that I need to think about as possible. It's why you see Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same clothes, etc. Mm-hmm. Is let's remove all of that thinking, because all of our thought needs to kick in on the most productive stuff, the stuff that really matters. And so I know you're a big advocate of, working out what you need to achieve by the end of the day.
Yeah, and I guess it's routine is the key piece there. Is the more times you can repeat the same thing over and over again, your mind goes on autopilot for that period, so you're not wasting that valuable energy. So it's why you can't remember your commute to work and that sort of stuff. You've just driven X number of miles and you just couldn't remember a particular thing about it. It's because you've gone on autopilot, right? You're not engaging in that moment.
Absolutely. And that is our top 7. For the purposes of if you have taken notes or if we've spoken too quickly for you, number 1, stop looking for these videos. They are consuming your time and possibly your life. Number 2, don't use your inbox as a to-do list, which you've had great success with, and make a 0 inbox. Number 3, email is someone else's to-do list for you. So stay out of it when you start your day, but don't ignore the emails, obviously. Number 4, grayscale on electronic devices can make them less interesting, less colourful to the brain. Number 5, use do not disturb on your devices to make sure you can have focus. Number 6, learn when you are most productive so you can seize those moments and opportunities. And number 7, know what you're going to do before your day starts. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Goodbye.